Wait a second.
By the way, did anybody...
What's this? This is weird.
Tape. Did anybody find out what the 3 fingers were from the last time? Why it's 3 fingers for this Iowa thing?
Because it's they're the Barnstormers.
Is that their thing?
What's your guys' volume?
3.
I thought that's what you do in the barn.
I'm actually curious. Is that... Yeah. Have they won 3 national championships?
No, I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea.
That's 3 Big Ten titles.
All I know is that ever since we got these, they've kind of...
The bullpen curse.
Yeah. I don't think
so.
Andy's going to send it. You know what he's going to do? He's going to start sending us like Michigan State.
Big Ten.
Big Ten, Michigan, Wisconsin gear. So they got a big one tonight, though, against Whiskey, I think.
I'll find out why there's 3 fingers. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just a 3-pointer. They just don't do it like this. They do it with the... Yeah. It's weird.
All right, fair enough. All right, welcome back, gentlemen. We're in the bullpen.
Finally.
We're back in the bullpen. I feel like it's been a long time since we've been in the bullpen, even though we were just here a couple weeks ago. This is our 16th episode.
We can drive.
I know. We've had our permit now for a couple weeks. And
Did we pass our test on the first try?
No.
Highly unlikely.
That 3-point turn caught us. 3-point turn.
16th episode. Everybody's here. Brandon, Evan, JP, Dan in the bullpen for the week of February 24th, 2016. If you're watching on YouTube, JP's back from the depths. He had a cold last time, was feeling a little crummy. I can tell the energy is very, very high.
It was that weak Panthers Super Bowl performance that got me all sick.
Yeah. So much energy that he has now developed something we're calling the Yahoo Combine. And let's break this down a little bit, some of the Yahoo personalities that will be taking part in the Yahoo Combine, since this is the week of the Combine.
Yeah.
So because I'm just trying to get Mike Mayock all the way off the internet because he couldn't hold my jockstrap on his best day, I feel like Yahoo, as a contingency, as a unit, as a gang, deserves to have our own combine. The 40, the bench press, the vert, broad jump, 20-yard shuttle, the 60-yard shuttle to see who has the most endurance, and the bench press. So anybody that has a Yahoo Inc. email address or an affiliate, because I do feel that Tank Williams deserves to play.
Sure.
Participate. Sean King, although you did jump ship, I threw your name in the pot first, okay, because I need to see you perform in the limelight. I need to know if you still got it.
All right, so the bullpen combine. The Yahoo / bullpen combine. Okay, so break it down. Here we go. What do we got?
We're all Yahoo.
So the 40-yard dash, does Pat 40 time it, or is he running it?
I think.
Or is he just writing about it?
Is he writing about it? Yeah.
Now, everybody's an active participant. I pegged 40 to get a 50 on the Wonderlick and probably beast in the bench press. I don't think he would be good at the 60-yard shuttle. He might be able to broad jump because, he's like 6'5", so he might have some power in those legs. He should be good in the vert. He should be able to slap all the popsicle sticks. The regular 40, though, I mean, that short burst, I hope he doesn't just Rich Eisen it.
I don't think he'd run it in loafers. He'd probably he's got a good.
He would
6'4",
need to clean up,
body.
Right?
He could Des Bryant and just borrow a pair of cleats.
All right, so who's got the agility? Who's the head in the agility department? Like
Jason Chan.
Oh,
getting low.
Spider Monkey.
Yeah, I feel like Chan will probably have the best 20-yard shuttle. Velasquez says that he'll kill him in a 3-cone drill. So I'm cool with that.
I want the 3 cones. Yeah.
Jason's a 5'8", half Asian, half white guy who wears shorts
all the time,
4 days a year.
He's a real photo.
Every day in Sochi
so he's always ready
for the Winter Olympics shorts.
Well, it was like 60 degrees.
I know, but still, even I wore pants a couple of times.
Bench press. We didn't get the bench press. I'm by the way I will be last in all of these happily.
You sure you want beast in the Wonderlick?
Anybody can beat me in the bench press with just 1 rep. Yeah, 225.
You think that you wouldn't get Sean King in the bench?
Did I see the record's like 50 something?
Yeah, record's 50.
51.
You got 52 in you, JP?
There's a good chance. I was reading something there. There's a good chance that could get broken this week.
By whom?
There's a guy out of Arizona State. He's done 35.
Come on.
Christian Westerman, offensive lineman.
That's explicit. No throwing up the shocker.
He can do 35 reps of 325.
Wow.
So they're talking about he might push for it. I don't think he'll get it.
Well,
But
remember Haloti Nada, I believe, I'll fact check later because, I don't want to fact check now. He had 43, and that was the closest to 51.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope I can get 7.
225?
I hope I can get 7.
Yeah.
But Tank will probably easily take that.
Tank would just dominate.
Well, Tank has bad knees, so I don't trust his 3-cone drill or his 60-yard shuttle. Because if he has to get low and those knees start to wobble a little bit, he might slip and have to readjust.
At JP Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
if you want to comment.
What's up, man?
Please,
Everybody jump in.
Please. We need to talk more about this Yahoo Combine.
We got tons of grass.
Because next year when we actually go out there and cover it, because that's going to be my mission, is that we need to be there next year. We need to set up our own Yahoo Combine while we're there.
Fully down.
Yeah.
Fully down. And I hope the GM show up as well so we all get bigger contracts.
If we could have a GM just sitting there, just get a shot of him, just sitting there with the stopwatch. That'd be great.
We're still waiting on Dornbush to book the fiber and the camera crew so we can really get this official.
Because you all follow JP on Twitter, check him out from today, the 24th. Some of his combine.
We had a nice conversation today.
It was good stuff.
It's lit.
Fire emoji. I just like saying fire emoji.
Let's transition to the NBA now because this is starting to get down the stretch. We had the deadline this past week, and the Golden State Warriors, and currently playing the Miami Heat as we're taping here.
They're okay.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors still on the path towards history. The question we're posing this week, guys, is it's kind of like the last couple of games they've gotten behind or they've gotten big leads and lost those leads and made it somewhat exciting at the end, but. Is this just winning? Is it making the NBA boring, do you think?
Yeah, I put this on the rundown because Tweedledee and Tweedledum at the 4-Letter Network who do that show in the mornings that some people watch.
Whitlock and Coward?
No, wrong station.
No, that's FS1.
That's the 3-Letter Network. I'm talking about the 4-Letter Network.
Oh, I heard Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass. Oh.
That is what I said. I guess they're all that.
Yeah.
They got the same.
Each network has their own version of those two guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yep.
They put that out there, and they're actually seriously suggesting it. And obviously, maybe I'm a bit biased because I am a Warrior fan. I almost said 49er fan.
You're that too.
I am that too, but they're not even on the same universe. I always like to think that when you're watching something that we've never seen before, how is that boring? How is seeing a team get 50 wins in 55 games boring?
It's a lot like that Panthers thing. Like the Panthers were on that run for a while, and people were rooting for them to lose a game and not go undefeated. It's like I would love to witness a team go undefeated in the NFL. I would love to see that. Like that's greatness. That's something that I wasn't around for the 72 Dolphins. So I would love to see something. And that's what I think hurts a lot of sports fans is we don't appreciate the greatness we have in front of us. I mean,
I know out of my mouth.
sorry, JP. But with Kobe, he's had a terrible year, but you look back on what he did for his entire career, that was great. You're gonna look back and be like, man, I should have appreciated that more when I watched it. That's why I love watching the Dubs. Yeah, do I like when they struggle a little bit because I want to see how they react. Mm-hmm. I want to see how they respond. In that Atlanta game, that was a fun game to watch. Because then they were just like, we're just playing, and then they ended up winning the game, and it's fun to watch that team. Now, if they get Kevin Durant, that might be a little bit.
Man, that's cheating.
I
hope the NBA blocks that like they did Chris Paul. Nope, sorry.
Well, I was going to say I see both sides of this, right? From one standpoint, would you rather see a race go down to game 81 and 82 for that number one seed? And we may still have that in the West, but would you rather see all the teams bunched up, people moving up and down throughout all the way to the end of the season, or would you rather see the Warriors clinch in 15 games?
I'd rather see Usain Bolt blow everybody out the water so I can be impressed by Usain Bolt blowing everybody out of the water.
Agreed. And then back to what your point, Evan, was it's kind of like when Bonds was chasing the home run record. Everybody was tuning in because it's like you knew eventually he was going to get to 71. I mean, I think the Maguire-Sosa race was more exciting because you had two guys every day going back and forth the whole season.
See, that race was only exciting because those two gentlemen actually got pitches. Barry Bonds didn't get pitches, so the ones that he got, he had to make grand on, and that's all he did was slap him out the ballpark.
I digress.
Which
but
is a testament to Barry Bonds' greatness and why he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Or you throw out like
God knows.
Tiger
God knows.
Woods in his prime when he was winning tournaments like a Pebble Beach by 12 shots. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
and he
St.
never
Andrews.
got tired, Jordan Speed.
No.
JP's back.
JP making golf references. You know he's back.
Oh, that's funny.
We don't get tired.
Anyway, what were you
That
saying?
man cannot putt this year, by the way, Jordan Spieth. He's been
I
terrible.
need to get his wind up.
Yeah.
How many more days to the Masters?
40 something?
44, 44, 45?
Hopefully he
Oh,
gets
I
a
can't.
nap
Love
in
it.
before then.
Anyway,
Cannot wait.
so I think the consensus is here. Of course, it's not boring. We're seeing history.
Yeah.
Everybody that's watching the NBA wants the Warriors to break this record or at least get close to it, except for people that live in Chicago.
I don't think Jordan does, yeah.
No.
I mean, except people who live in Chicago and the Bull diehards. The Bulls
Steve
diehards.
Kerr made a great point. He's got the record either way, so doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true.
Damn, thug life.
All right. Well, going from the best, possibly the best NBA season to the worst NBA seasons, I thought it'd be fun to ask the panel, you three here, if you can name your teams, that's the Timberwolves, the Warriors, and the Wizards, their worst seasons since 1990. And I have this from the Sporting News.
Mine was easy. I remember this one.
Tell me about it.
98, 99, we had all the fake Hall of Fame OGs on the squad. Calbert Chaney, Mitch Richmond, Rod Strickland, Ben Wallace, Jahadi White, and they just sucked.
There's some good names.
Tim Legler, like I
that's
said,
a
but
good
they were
one.
all 45-50. And they only won 18 games. They just got whooped night in and night out.
It was 98, 99, you said?
Yep.
All right. So they
Mike Brown.
went 18 and
assistant coach.
32 that year. It was a
Yep.
shortened season, right?
Bernie Bickerstaff was a failure.
The actually by percentage,
Well,
they say the 08-09 Wizards was the worst in the last 25
that was the year
years.
they got John Wall the next year, right?
Correct. And then
Yeah.
everything
Here's what's
turned
interesting
around.
about leading scorer of that team, Antawn Jamison.
Oh, former North Carolina great Antawn Jamison.
Remember Marv Albert Jamison for 3.
So
Yes.
they wouldn't win 30 games in a season for 4 more years after that. So that was a tough stretch.
Shout out to John Wall.
All right. So in the in the same vein, Ev, do you remember the worst Golden State Warriors season?
You asked me this earlier, and I was trying to think about it, and I'm thinking it's got to be late 90s. 97, 98?
It's the 2000-2001 Golden
Wow.
State Warriors finishing 17 and 65. Their leading scorer,
Montation?
Antawn Jamison.
Well,
But
Twan didn't play for the T-Pups,
You're right.
so I know,
But,
like,
Jamison
or,
for
they
3.
allowed-
or else I would totally pick that
they
year.
allowed 101.5 points per game that year.
Well,
Don,
Nelly
Don,
ball.
yeah,
Antawn
Don Nelson
plays
don't
on
coach
some
defense.
terrible. It was
teams.
terrible.
Yeah, Don Nelson never coached
That's a
defense.
good point.
Was
That's
that
a good
still
point.
Nelly?
I don't
Musselman?
know. That's a good point.
I mean,
Oh,
Eric
one?
Musselman days.
Yeah, it might have been before Nelly.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Don't you have it up?
I don't have that page. I'll check it out. You look it up. All right, we'll go T-Pups.
It's either going to be 94 or last year when they ended up having the worst record in the NBA.
Everybody was hurt.
This is the 2009-2010 Minnesota Timberwolves at 15 and 67. Their leading scorer
Wait,
that year,
what year was that?
2009-2010.
I'm trying to remember who they got the next year.
Hold on.
Oh, they probably got screwed in the lottery.
No, here you go. Leading scorer Al Jefferson, 17 points per game.
Yeah, the Al Jefferson days.
It's
The
AJ.
draft before this, the Timberwolves had the 5th and 6th
Oh, yeah, they
picks
took Rubio and Flynn.
instead of Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, yeah. No, I know. They took
anyway.
2 other point guards instead of that.
Not to
a
like-
lot of teams missed out. Well,
Did you find out who
5
the coach was in
specifically.
01?
Yeah, that was the dark first year of Dave Cohen's.
Oh, geez. Wow. All right. Well, not to like bring everybody down, but I thought it was
yeah.
interesting.
No, that was good.
Interesting comparison to remember that Antawn Jamison ruined several of our lives.
You know, fun Antawn Jamison fact. He's the reason I'm a Carolina fan.
Really?
For
Jamison?
first couple weeks I moved to North Carolina. We went on a field trip to the University of North Carolina. I bought one of those little basketballs.
Recruiting trip?
One of those little like plastic like this kind of material basketballs. And we were going to the cafeteria and a bunch of kids were like, "Oh, that guy plays for the team, blah 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 blah." So I walked up to him, find the ball. It was freshman Antawn Jamison.
And there it is. Fan for life.
Yep.
Jamison.
Full 3. No.
Yes.
Oh man.
He also didn't play any defense. Remember how stiff he ended up being in the NBA? Like he couldn't bend his knees.
It's bad.
But he could shoot from the corners. He had
played for
he had white
a
guy
hell of a
game.
long time.
All right. Anyway, so the NBA season marches on. We'll see if the Warriors can continue their pursuit of the Bulls in that season-long record, and hopefully they can stay healthy.
Do they break the record
okay.
and lose in the first round?
No.
How dare you?
No, how dare you? That's absolutely atrocious.
coming from Cy Punch Shoddy, Evan Doherty.
If I had to make a prediction completely with no knowledge of anything, because that's all my predictions
If
are,
they
I would say
lose-
they don't break the record, but they still win the title.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I say they break the record and lose to the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals.
That could also happen.
That's true.
I think that's the most like. They could win. They could do both easily.
I just say that JP because they're not going to lose it to Houston.
No, the first round matchup is going to be cake.
if
Houston's a hot mess. Did you see that alley-oop last night? You posted on Instagram.
If you don't follow
Now-
JP on Instagram,
I posted it on Twitter too. This is the thing. I understand that Powder Puff Howard is one of the most underachieving human beings ever. God blessed him with the most physical abilities of all time that he doesn't use. But that was all on James Harden. Like, he didn't even throw that ball remotely in the alley-oop area. Like, Harden been so drunk. It's that Kardashian curse.
He did call back,
Those
though.
chicks are undefeated, man. People got to understand, like, look, they don't lose. They don't lose. You got to mess with them at your own peril.
Yeah, Kanye's going on rants left and right now. Usually it would be like one tweet a year. Now it's a rant every other day.
Peep this. Has anybody noticed that Kanye tweets like he only has Wi-Fi for 20 minutes at a time?
She only gives him his phone for 20 minutes.
Like this kind of reel off 35 tweets and then go missing for a day. And then tweets 16 times like, I got Wi-Fi again. Let me get these thoughts out. That's that Kardashian nonsense. Talentless Kim K and friends. Man, I can't stand none of them.
Let's move on quick before JP's head explodes.
all right, let's move on to let's go back to the NFL for a second and talk a little bit
To a
about.
topic that won't make JP's head explode. RG3.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, high blood pressure.
What stands out to you guys here as we look at the free agent market now that
Yo,
things have calmed down?
The Broncos are about to get your boy because Brock Osweiler is going to pull a Kirk Cousins, and I'm not mad. He's going to go out there and get that money, get that 17-20, and lead the Broncos. And RG3 just going to fall in the lap, and Kubiak's going to be like, look, dog, here are the plays. You got the greatest defense ever. Von Miller is the most unstoppable defensive force on the planet currently. And, hey, man, just don't mess up. It seems really sweet and really simple if it's not the Texans.
For me, does LA have anybody left on their team? Because they had a lot of free agents and they just cut like the other half of the squad. I think it's like Aaron Donald, Tavon Austin, Todd Gurley, and that's pretty much it that they all have left, right?
But God bless his soul, Stedman Bailey coming back
Oh,
off
yeah,
of getting
okay,
shot.
there we go. So
He'll be healthy, so they got a wide out.
but they got plenty of cap room if they want to go after RG3.
You button hooked me there because you said L.A. and I went,
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you had to think
Let
about
me
it for
think
a second.
about
Yeah,
that.
because
They
people
got
are
a
charging
Chargers
up
didn't
on that
move
left
yet.
and right. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, Cap staying with the Niners too. That's another interesting thing. I mean, it might work with Chip Kelly.
I think that's a
It
smart
might.
move on their part, though. Like you have the guy. Like why bother trying to overspend on another quarterback at this point? Trying to draft a quarterback in the first round. You know, you kind of know what you have. I mean, it's not. I mean, okay, flashes of greatness. Maybe the Chip Kelly thing sparks and it works, but you at least need to see it. See it. Try it. Try it out. See if it works.
Give it 1
and
year.
you have Gabbert,
Right.
too. So, and he. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
saying they're
you're right.
world
You're
beaters,
right.
but you know they're better than the situation in L.A. They're better than the situation in Houston. Like,
Yo, they're
you
gonna
know,
suck.
They're better than the situation in Philadelphia. So,
It might end up the same as Philly.
well, and they got what they got what they bargained for.
Still, though, you go back to the RG3 thing, if I can, real quick.
ahead, yeah.
And you look around at some of the teams and the depth charts of where he could land. The one team that stands out that doesn't have a guy that you could at least say, okay, are the Rams.
Yeah.
You know, Fisher said at the combine today that
Well, the Texans too,
yeah, the Texans too,
because I think
guess.
Hoyer is a free agent.
right.
And he kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And he sucks, right? But Fisher says today that basically it's Keenum's job and Foles is going to fight him for it. And Foles will
Is
have a
Jeff
chance to
Fisher
contend
like
for it.
he's shaving points?
Jeff
and
Fisher
it's
been
February.
drunk. Yeah, he been drunk.
I mean, they cut like two of their best defensive players. I know they were getting a little long in the tooth, but to get rid of like two of your defensive stalwarts, you know, and you know one of your only passing weapons.
Yeah, they
and
only kept Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of like,
Yeah. Does Houston sit there? I mean, do they go with Hoyer, or they still got Tom Savage, who played a little bit? He played a little bit a couple years ago.
Or does O'Brien go for his boy Hackenberg?
Oh God.
From Penn State.
I mean, if he's available in the 5th round, sure.
JP took the words out of
Because
my mouth.
he's gonna fall that far, but if he's there in the 5th, then I mean, why not?
I want to do an over-under when we go to the draft on Christian Hackenberg. I say 4th round, but
He's going to be sitting in that green room alone.
hopefully he doesn't
Look,
go to the green room. Hopefully he's just barbecuing at home or
I don't know
something.
how he does it. He must need to throw footballs into trash cans at 60 yards away and have the greatest pro day in the history
That'll
of
be
pro days.
our Yahoo Combine event. We'll have him do that.
Because, yeah, he's not going very far, very fast.
Who's going to pay Josh Norman?
Redskins.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a crap load of space.
But he won't go to a team that's not a contender.
Well,
But they have
for the money though.
Let's
Nah,
say this.
it ought to be a contender.
They signed Josh Norman, and the Jaguars are sitting there going, hey, we're also going to draft Jalen Ramsey. So
Yeah, there you go.
that makes them instantly kind of a contender in that AFC South.
Yeah.
But then they have to change their defense because Ramsey's not a man corner. And are you going to move Jalen Ramsey
You
back
can
to
put
his
him at
natural
safety. You can put him at either.
Then who's going to be the other corner?
Well, I mean, if you got Josh Norman on one side.
I feel you what you're saying. I just
yeah.
don't think that they're going to change the whole defense to make it
I
sexy
mean,
for those two.
Right. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but, you know, they're getting Dante Fowler back, foreshadowing for later in the show, but they're going to get him back next year, hopefully, this whole thing that he's involved in.
Got to
But
stay out them boxing matches.
yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But, you know, and they get Sindaric Marks back. Like, that could be a decent defense. And that offense, they're growing together. Like, that. This could be a good young team. This could be a good team, not just next year, but for years to come. Like, they're doing something right in Jacksonville.
A ton of wideouts.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an NFL GM, do you take a chance on Greg Hardy since he's now no longer going to be with the Cowboys?
Nope.
It's just not worth it?
Nope.
I think there will be some team that will do it late in training camp if they have a rash of injuries.
Yeah, if you need a defensive tackle,
That's a team that isn't worried about the image thing like the Cowboys. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to do it again, but a team that just doesn't give a crap about that kind of thing.
Jason Garrett referred to him as a free agent today. Ozzie Newsome for the Ravens GM came out and said that they're not signing any player with sexual assaults in their history.
Yeah.
They've learned their lesson clearly.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to bring up
Yeah.
Rice after that.
man, that's how
I
they
mean,
got. That's how
I
they got
could see-
Manziel out of there, huh?
I could see a team like the Jets. Like, that could be a team, like, if they have a rash of injuries at the defensive end position.
So you're thinking a mid-season type of deal.
Either a late training camp,
Yeah.
mid-season kind of one where you give him the league minimum and then you give him incentives if he plays well and keeps his, crap together.
All right, NFL news. The headline on this from TMZ is NFL's Dante Fowler refs baby mama brawl insane video.
Don't
Somebody
break
explain
up
this
the
to
fight,
me.
Let him rumble.
The video isn't anything you haven't seen. Most of us, at least, have
Yeah.
probably seen in a club.
The headline
in
is
high
actually
school.
wrong.
It's
There's only one baby mother in here, so what is a baby mama brawl? It should just say two women fought.
well, yeah, it's technically still correct. One
TMZ,
baby
y'all real
mama's in it.
sensationalists.
Don't get me
that's-
started on
let's-
TMZ.
Let's just live there. But
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, the fight isn't anything you haven't seen. Is it still not really disturbing? Yeah, it is.
But yeah, it's just it's a fight. It's the but it's the fact that he looks like he kind of like Mills
encourages
lanes it like.
Okay, the thing that TMZ missed, and that we all don't know because he hasn't come out and told us,
Right.
is what were the stakes?
Yeah.
what were they fighting for?
Well, yeah,
Were
what
they
does the winner
fighting
get?
about stakes?
I mean, if it was a face steak, I'll throw it down with anybody in the room. So I could see how that could go south quick. But I guess they fought, but no one knows
Yeah.
what they fought
I mean,
for
this could have been like brewing for like a couple of months, and they finally all happened to be in the same area, and then
Get it out,
yeah,
and then we can move on with life.
Also, the follow-up here on ESPN, they say they're investigating it. It looks like the Jaguars are going to investigate it, and Dante brought the video to them.
yeah.
So this is going to be one of those investigations.
Yeah,
that's-
right. He's not going to get suspended or anything because he didn't do anything.
But yeah, I would say this does bring to light some aspects of relationships with women. So we should reopen
Yeah.
the JP's
We-
dating
we
advice
haven't
corner
done
here
the
and get
JP's
your
dating
take
advice in a while.
on this situation and maybe a similar situation. You'd have advice
Have
for people.
you
in this?
had two women fight over you?
That or
On the internet, but not physically. I don't really,
oh,
because I wouldn't have ref the physical one. I wouldn't have wanted to see that because then I'd have to choose up. Like, man, you kind of got whooped. I can't mess with you no more. Like, what I look like in the street with somebody who got mopped up by somebody else?
Is this kind of like that? Remember we were at the Sharks game last year for the party, and there was the Instagram fiasco.
Telestration.
Who's that girl?
Man, she fully got like all the way cut off last week. She wasn't even
last week. It took you over a year.
Well, nah, cause I didn't block her phone number.
Oh,
so then I had to go to the real block.
Okay.
Because my number hasn't changed since what? Like, it's been 16 years I had the same phone number, so everybody has access, which is probably bad. But yeah, I wasn't romantically involved with her anyway, so she could play on the freeway. A lot of people have taken internet jabs. I remember my old roommate, one of them. If you see this, you'll know it's you. I had to run interference for him one night. I had to fake like the young lady that was in the living room was there to see me when his maid came to the house, but she wasn't really my cup of tea. So when the maid came in the house, she kind of sniffed it out like, she's not here. I was like, nah, we about to go play video games or something in the room. And it was
Mario Kart in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Pusha T says, it was like these
Rainbow
clothes. I feel like we went to go get food, something corny, like, oh, I'm going to get a Frosty. And then, like, left the house and was like, yeah, I'm not going back there for a while. And I don't know if you're going to come back here tomorrow or you guys going to talk about this later. But, yeah, it was close to, it could have been fisticuffs in the living room. Shout out to San Jose State. Nah, actually, San Jose State could burn. Shout out to the PhDs, 7th and San Salvador. Had some good times there. Yeah, ain't nothing good about San Jose State. They're letting people put bike chains around people's necks and not doing nothing about that. San Jose State could burn tomorrow. Nobody will lose any sleep. Said it.
That's taken a long time to come around. My fiance was in Res Life at San Jose State before that, but I remember hearing about that like 2.5 years ago, and they're only now going to court about it.
That's one of the worst administrations at a university ever, and it's state-run.
Not as bad as Missouri.
Oh, yeah, they don't want their football players to say anything or do anything or protest, and if you do decide to protest, I might snatch a scholarship and your books away. I remember there was a Yahoo affiliate who was just at my throat in DMs talking about how wrong I was about that, and it just gets worse and worse. He's probably a Teabag Manning apologist as well.
People stand by. People stand by their
Yeah.
I mean, that degree's a piece of paper. That ain't real life.
Yeah.
That's true. I waited way too long to get that piece of paper.
And you earned it completely.
I totally earned it.
All right.
Minus one glass.
Let's move on to this week's Ask JP segment.
Wait a second. You got outstanding units and still got the degree?
Got the degree 8 years after he was supposed to get it, and he never completed the class he needed to take.
That's a quality
Thug life.
education right
actually
there.
get the degree.
Okay,
so
now
funny.
that's a good story.
Arizona State.
Which means he's still got
Great,
he's
now
still
they're gonna-
technically got athletic eligibility left.
now they're going to call me up and revoke it. Thanks, guys.
Not if it's already in the plaque. It's too late.
Yeah, we have a
It's already in
heavy
the
Sun
safety
Devil
deposit
following.
box. It's the only-
Smart.
All right, now we'll move on to the Ask JP segment for this week. Our good friend Andy Behrens checking in. Hashtag AskJP. Send your questions, comments, concerns, love advice, draft picks, whatever you need.
All type of
Ask
draft
JP. Exactly. Andy asks this week, at what point can I wear my Iowa Rose Bowl 2016 gear in public without irony?
When does Christian McCaffrey retire from the NFL?
Like 2000 and never.
I was going to say, I don't know.
Barons,
if you can.
what's your deal here with this Iowa thing? Like, you guys are habitual underachievers. I'm not understanding how you lost that game by 77 points, and you feel the need to wear Rose Bowl gear. Why would you even want to remember that?
Yeah, I
As
agree.
a fan of any team, I don't want to remember shellackings. I want to remember when we won something, and that game was over at halftime. I think you should probably move on from this fandom, sir. You should focus on the Olympics, focus on Galen Rupp, and focus on this Yahoo Combine, because I was not doing it for you. I mean, look at the Hoop Squad. They're failing. Maybe you need some sort of intervention.
I feel like if you want to wear it like around the house to like clean out the garage.
if you're like doing yard
sure.
work.
Yeah, yard work's good.
Yeah,
Okay, like
backyard
if you
work
need to use
where
it as a
nobody can
rag
see
for
you.
something.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you run out of toilet paper.
polishing his car with it. You know,
If the
ShamWow.
if the baby
Yeah.
has an
when it's
accident,
not snowing.
There you go.
And, yeah.
okay, after a drunk night and you yacked in the sink, okay, I see how you could do that. Fine, Barons, you could use it for those purposes.
Without irony, of course.
Yo, zero irony there. Bless your soul.
All right, our good friend Cliff checked in today on the day of the taping, asking which NBA player would you select to start a new franchise? He has a couple of ideas
This is
here
actually
for
a
us.
good one.
It looks like Towns, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Chris Stapps, and
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
yeah, sorry.
Andrew.
Two of those
Andrew
guys.
Wiggins.
We're on the
I
same
lost it.
team.
Currently on
So
our squad.
you guys, these are some of his guys, but who would you take?
No,
And
I was
let's
gonna
take
go
Steph
off of
Curry off the
this.
table.
Oh no, I was going to just go off of this list alone. This was actually tough.
This is a good list.
Okay,
I mean,
so
you,
go with that
you
list.
easily take. I mean, Porzingis. He's out of the running at first.
Yeah, he'd
Chris,
be
but he's got a
fifth.
great name.
Process of elimination. It was between Towns and Unibrow.
Yeah.
And I like Unibrow's game better because he can actually
But it's-
spread the floor.
Right now, I think Davis's game is way more polished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go with Davis too, just because he can. I mean, the other night, what did he have?
59 and 20.
59 and 20.
And he passed the ball the entire fourth quarter because you could see some of his teammates was like, let me at least get 18
like
out
that.
of this.
That is nuts from a non-point guard or guard period.
He plays 2 through 5.
Yeah.
On his team, he plays 2 through 5. I mean, Towns could probably play 3.5 through 5, which is tight,
Yeah.
but I'll take Davis because
Yeah,
he can.
and Towns is a rookie. He's still learning his way.
True.
So yeah, I would definitely take Davis.
Unibrow all day.
Yeah.
Right, Brow's looking
That's
good.
all
Dan.
I see. Evan, you
I'm
got a pick here?
surprised. I was going to go Westbrook. I want the guy who's got the bravado. He's got the flair that fans, I think you want to see him play.
This guy Evan picked himself.
How often?
This guy Evan just picked himself. Oh man.
The description. He just
Right?
Because
That's why he's laughing. Exactly.
I'm gonna give you this so you can shoot it. Because I know you ain't gonna pass it.
Thank you. When the game is on the line, okay, and you're
I'm
down
taking
by
Evan.
you better pray he make the right decision because Westbrook not. Oh, Kevin Durant's open. I don't care.
I'm gonna go in for a two-handed
I'm
dunk.
going with my boy Russ.
I'm not building nothing outside of Russell Westbrook but like a box.
Oh my God.
Holy cow. What type of players do you have to put around him to win? No way.
One other guy that I would consider putting
Let it
in
go.
this mix,
Yeah.
Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I like his game a lot, and I think he has some of the bravado that Evan wants,
He can rap, too.
but he's got the intelligence, the basketball IQ that I covet.
He covets that basketball IQ.
I just really wanted to use covet in this podcast.
Moving on. Did you guys see this car that
It's
Yoenis
fantastic.
Cespedes bought?
Did
This
you see?
custom vehicle? Did you see
And
this thing?
then,
The Lambo.
and then he
What
came,
is this
but
thing?
but he came in a different one today.
This is the one this one here. The
That's the Lambo.
Wait, the three-wheeled one?
yeah, the slingshot.
Yeah, no. He showed up in a different one today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Polaris slingshot, yeah.
Yeah. But then he showed up in a different one today and had his had somebody else drive it off the lot to go pick him up some waffles or something.
I thought he had a Lambo the first time, then he got the slingshot, then he had something else.
See, when I was looking at it, this thing doesn't appear to have any seatbelts.
It does.
Okay.
Like Lil Duval has one. Remember all the Rough
Safety
Riders
first.
started out with those?
Just look at that.
Yeah, the
thing.
Rough Riders
I
had
know.
them
It's
first in the bike
fantastic,
game.
right?
Check
Did,
it
did
out.
you see the one that he had today?
There's a photo on ESPN of this thing. It's a three-wheeled, like, converted Polaris. It's crazy. I didn't see the one from today. Is it on Twitter or something?
Yeah, I'll find it.
That's funny. So, but the thing that's crazy about me is he only paid $68,000 for this.
All it is a souped-up go-kart.
I suppose, but man, I mean, I would think they'd charge him a lot more for that.
He probably got the jug because of Cespedes.
Stand by, we're
Here's the thing that
We're looking that up.
He can only use that really in Florida.
See, that's what I saw. I saw the Lambo.
Yeah,
So,
Lambo.
yeah,
Oh,
and this
okay.
one's got like the 52 on the front.
Yeah, like his
Yeah.
Lambo was tricked out.
All right, well, this one here, the Polaris Slingshot, this thing is ridiculous. And it posed the question here, Brandon, we were talking about, so it kind of looks like a Batmobile kind of car.
Yeah, yeah.
What fictional car would you like to drive,
The
gentlemen?
Dark Knight trilogy Batmobile.
That was legit.
That
Wait,
came-
the one that flew?
I mean, it flew. It turned into
Yeah.
a motorcycle. It could go underwater. It
With
had the
those big wheels?
it had the drill on the
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
Like that's probably the greatest super hero car ever.
I'm gonna go Ghostbusters vehicle.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's an old favorite.
It's an oldie. It's an oldie. Oh, the Canyonero.
I pulled up a great slideshow list from Complex. And they had
I
the
saw that one.
Canyonero from The Simpsons.
So the two on there, go ahead.
It had the Professor Robotnik drill tank from Sonic and the Hedgehog. I used to play that on Genesis all the time.
Did they have what did Beast when he was in the X-Men? What was that thing called? That ship?
Oh, the X-wing or something, whatever it is.
That was pretty tight because it could go invisible and you could never knock it out of the sky. It was pretty much invincible.
My two favorites from that slideshow, the Eagle 5 from Spaceballs, the Flying Winnebago.
Oh, yeah.
And the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Right.
Yeah, DeLorean's high on the list.
The Ghostbusters car was on there, too.
Sorry.
The ambiguously gay duo.
Oh, yeah.
The phallic car.
That was a great cartoon.
Wow.
So good.
That was funny. The Shaggin' Wagon from Dumb and Dumber.
What about the van that Pedro had in Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes.
Dynamite. Wait, no, wasn't that Uncle Rico?
Wasn't it?
My bad, you're right. It was Uncle Rico.
Yeah. Because he would make his video. He was making his throwing videos.
And everybody said, still a better quarterback than Tony Romo.
If you have a favorite fictional car, please tweet at us at the Bullpen Pod. Evan, any more on there? That's good.
It's got to be from a superhero. It can't just be
yeah.
oh, I like a Bentley.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call Back to the Future a superhero, but I think that's a cool fictional car.
I mean, they could go back in time.
Yeah, realizing Inspector Gadget's mobile is basically almost a DeLorean. Optimus Prime, Freeze Mobile.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff on this list.
There's a bunch of
Homer.
There's a bunch of Bond cars on there too, like the original Aston Martin car.
Did they name Mad Max's vehicle?
Oh,
I have no idea.
They never put a name to it, but that's kind of or like Death Proof if you drove one of those mobiles.
Man, that's a good list.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
The James Bond vehicle. Well, that's not a superhero vehicle.
Yeah, well, kind. I mean,
I have an embarrassing moment. So I watch Spectre, whatever you want to call it.
Spectre. Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Dan, I'll let you borrow it. I don't.
It was, it was a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as.
Hey, how come nobody told me that James Bond was an assassin? Like in that movie, that's the first movie that they actually used the term assassin. Christopher Waltz was like, "Yeah, you're an assassin." I was like, "Oh, I thought he was like a cool secret agent, not just an assassin." Assassin makes me think of Hitman. If anybody played that game or knows a Hitman reference, he's a real assassin.
Yeah,
like James Bond does way more than Hitman ever did.
Can we get a crossover movie? Bond versus Hitman.
Ooh,
wow!
It's coming.
Idris Elba versus Hitman. I'm with that.
Coming in 2018.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
Somebody got to pay Velasquez for the idea first. So we can patent that. Okay, don't just run off with this idea and make the movie happen. I know how America works.
I'm gonna write it down, put it in an envelope, send it to myself. Patent pending.
Real quick, staying in baseball, Big Papi says he wants a standing ovation from Yankees fans in his final season here.
Is he demanding that?
Yeah, I wanted Big Papi.
He has one request for Yankees fans in his final
appearances. 4 years.
He wants a standing O. What do you guys think?
Did Red Sox fans give Jeter a standing O?
I think they did.
They probably did.
They did.
I mean, everybody loved
I
Jeter.
think
I
in
don't
his
think that
last game.
I think that standing ovation was for all the women he dated, not for his prowess in baseball. I think they was hooking him up like, what?
It might have been a bit of both, but I think the Yankees fans, like, they get a really bad rap, and yes, some of them are bad, but like they're very knowledgeable about baseball. I think in his last game there, this is his last season, right?
Yeah,
he's come out and said it. Yeah, okay.
And they played the last week of the regular season.
Right. I think he'll get, in his last game at Yankee Stadium, I think he'll get a nice standing ovation and probably what will be his last at bat or whatever. So,
will there be New York pizza for Pablo? Is the real important question.
Oh my God.
Yo, man.
Big boy.
That dude.
That panda.
God.
He's still cool to me. Just for that snack run he made me go on.
Here's the thing. He went to Boston, and now he's got to deal with driving down, and every block there's a Dunkin' Donuts, and you have those maple sticks waiting for you. The glaze sticks, sorry. Every single block staring at you in the face. I'd be 270 pounds.
He probably's like,
What is he weigh now? Like 295, 300?
I saw one photo.
He has to be the most athletic offensive guard in the history of baseball.
He'll be at the combine this weekend.
Yeah.
Backing up Sebastian Ulmer
he's
for the Patriots.
He's going to be three-coning it.
Could you see Pablo kick step?
Oh.
I would take on Pablo in a full combine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The only thing agility, he's big, but he can move. He can move.
I want to see that.
But look, after you do the bags and he's tired, what happens when it goes to the individual drills, A+? He's just going to lean on you.
Just crumple underneath him.
Well, then obviously I'll have to go to the hospital. I mean,
Obviously, I'll be in the
over
hospital.
at that point.
We're gonna get the giant arm pads, and he's gonna try to go all Deacon Jones on him and go with the
Head slap.
Head slap.
Pablo might arguably have the lowest Wonderlic score of all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be low.
I could see him asking, like, what is this? What is this? Time's up. What are we doing?
He'd
Are there
post a
snacks
photo
somewhere?
of it on Instagram.
Is there pizza somewhere around here?
He might ask for food in the middle of it. I'm hungry.
This week's random shot, Brent Burns, San Jose Sharks. This one's close to home for me. They will be releasing a beard head chia pet.
He has no teeth.
This is not the first team in
He's
the
a
Bay
hockey
Area to
player.
do this. The Giants have done this before. They're, ceramic dolls, and you paint the thing on there, and then it grows. But I thought, this might be one giveaway that I would want, but what's like one of the best sports giveaways you guys have seen? Or craziest?
I did a little look up, and it was a bobblehead from after the 91 World Series, which is close to me.
Sure.
Remember the play in Game 2 where Kent Herbeck lifted Ron Gant off of first base and tagged him out? He literally lifted him off the bag, and then the umpire called him out, even though you're not allowed to do that. And so they made a bobblehead
Of
and
that.
It's the two of them.
That's legit.
That's pretty good.
If it'll ever end up popping up here.
Oh, that's
wow.
good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now that I see it, I remember that play. Yeah.
That's funny.
And that essentially helped them win Game 2. So and they won it in 7.
That's
so.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Have any good
I'd love
giveaways
to
you
have
remember?
that one if I can find it.
Notable bobblehead that now comes to mind is I think the Reds had one for Dusty Baker, and they had basically like a little batting container, what looked to be a batting container. Basically, you could put toothpicks in it. So it was like a toothpick holder
For him, yeah, because he's always got the
Dusty Baker.
toothpick.
was
That's
always
pretty good.
chewing on it.
JP, anything cool?
You got that Bernie one too,
I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah.
the Cocoa Crisp one.
Mm-hmm. The Bernie Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I
like
don't
when
have
they get
nothing super
creative.
tight. I do have a Sean Taylor towel, but that's for different reasons. So that's probably the best one I got. Oh no, I had a Jim Edmonds one of those little mini bats. At an Angels game
sure.
one time on the outfield, they gave everybody a Jim Edmonds autographed mini bat. Where is Jim Edmonds now? Is he still popping?
He retired?
Probably still in OC somewhere.
He's making
Probably.
over the shoulder catches somewhere.
All right.
Probably in a
At the
park
grocery
somewhere.
store.
Yeah.
That was a tight surprise. Everybody
Yeah.
in the stadium erupted.
The coolest one that they could always give out, but they don't do it enough anymore. They would always give it out at the beginning of the season, no matter the sport. The magnetic schedule.
Sure. Yeah, I love the
I
magnetic
always wanted to
schedule.
get those, and they don't do it hardly enough anymore.
I always got bummed when they do the schedule cup, because I'm not going to have the cup with me when I want to look at the schedule.
You want to know how many schedule cups I have?
Oh,
Dano?
no, I'm not saying I don't have them.
I have cups on cups on cups, just stashed away. I get them all the time when I go to different parks and stadiums.
Brobes, you and I have talked about this before. The one thing I have somewhere is the puck from the All-Star game that
Oh, yeah.
didn't happen in San
Oh,
Jose.
yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I don't even know where I got that. But real quick before we go, Bleacher Report did a thing on the worst sports giveaways, and I thought
God.
I'd run through some of these because they're pretty good. The Columbus Clippers handed out an Ohio Beef Council T-shirt. It's true. Any noisemaker is considered a worst sports giveaway, so several teams have done cowbells,
The
vuvuzelas,
Thundersticks are terrible. Oh.
Okay, here we go. The Nashville Sounds gave out Wise Men bobbleheads during their Christmas in July event. So little Wise Men bobbleheads. Let's see here. Los Angeles Angels, Mike Trout fish hat. Seattle Mariners gave out a bag of compost. Hooray for dirt.
What?
Hudson Valley Renegades gave out toilet seat cushions.
That's kind of tight.
The Altoona Curve on here twice because they actually have a tradition called the Awful Night. They had useless squares of bubble wrap, and yeah, I'm not lying. And color photos of GM Todd Parnell's removed gallbladder. Those two things they gave out.
I feel like that's just a bad joke that didn't go over well.
Yeah.
The Vero Beach Devil Rays gave out urine cups for 200 people as a fight drugs event.
The minor leagues, they do
It's so good, though.
They do some crazy stuff.
All right, last three. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, who
They give out bacon.
no, they gave
That would
away.
actually be good.
They gave away a funeral, like the cost of a funeral at a game.
No.
The Louisville Bats did back hair removal at a game, and
That might actually
finally,
that's more useful than a funeral.
this one I
That
love
probably
the
helps
best.
some people get it in.
This one I
Yeah.
love the best. The Fort Myers Miracle.
Hey, Twinkies.
They had a Mike Tyson ear night. walk around with the ear.
Wait, the actual piece of the ear?
No, it was like a
Oh.
replica, but it was like an ear night.
Oh.
Mike Tyson ear night. That's just you
He
can like
is
walk
no-
around with
is
the ear.
He from Fort? No, he's not from Fort.
I have no
Myers.
idea why I
Yeah.
was there, but anyway, that's some of the worst sports giveaways. Any of those on your list
He's
that you
from
might go to?
Catskills, New York. I don't get it.
Would you? Is there any sports giveaway that you would actually like say, you know what, I'm going to that game because I want that thing?
Of those, no.
No, no, I mean in
there's
general.
been games like when it comes out and like you can see like oh that bobblehead or that would be cool to have or something like that. I mean they've gotten better with some of their giveaways. Like baseball does a really good job of scheduling those kind of things out. Like I like bobbleheads. I have a few of them at home.
Sure.
And, so I would like try to plan out to get like specific player ones or ones that are cool, something like that. But like none of those would I.
Nobody likes the Ohio Beef Council T-shirt.
No.
Evan's squad be giving out tennis shoes sometimes. So I mean, I guess you need to go to a
Yeah.
Warriors game and get you some Steph
Yeah.
Currys that you can throw on the internet and sell for probably not a lot.
I feel like the jersey shirts they give out a lot of times at games are just like the cheap.
Yeah, well,
things
they're
that got
probably made by the same beef jerky council or whatever they
Beef Jerky Council.
whatever the hell it is that you were talking about just a second ago.
We Believe shirt was cool.
Well, those ones are always like they always have like they had the player's name and the number, but then they're like they got the big sponsor logo on the
Yeah,
front
like a
along
big
with the name.
Clorox stamp on your sleeve.
You're
Brought
never
to
gonna
you
wear
by Rolaids, and you're just like, okay, thanks, guys.
What if they passed out like bottles of kale pectate to every fan?
That would actually be helpful.
And
wants
that would be
chowder?
funny, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, one other one. West Michigan Whitecaps dropped.
West Mexican.
West
West
Michigan.
Mexican.
West Michigan Whitecaps. I can speak.
Lou Holtz
They
joined the
dropped
show.
cash from a helicopter, and chaos, of course, ensued.
Oh,
Kids getting trampled and stuff like that. That was probably a bad game.
that was
But how much was it though?
I don't know. I could go back, but it was just they dropped like there was probably 500 people there, so
yeah.
maybe
$200,
maybe $200
$201.
with
Yeah.
people just knocking over kids for that stuff. I've seen that too, where
That's
kids where
crazy.
people like push kids out of the way.
Money
in
makes people
person.
do crazy stuff.
Free stuff makes people do crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. Yeah,
I don't know how many times
like
I've been
the
yelling for the
t-shirt-
double-double
t-shirt
burger.
guns or the t-shirt toss. That's the dumbest thing in sports. Like
It's gonna be
everybody, I refuse to stand up. I just sit there, and everybody stands up around me. I'm like, y'all are stupid.
And that shirt you're going to put in there with your
Again,
Iowa Rose Bowl gear and never
It's-
wear.
Never. You might as well just throw it in with the other towels. Like it's the dumbest thing. And like you get it, and it's a double XL.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, here, Timmy. And he's like 7. He's not going to wear that thing.
Here, Timmy.
It's like it's
Here,
the dumbest
Timmy.
thing. Oh, I'm gonna scream for a t-shirt. Sit down.
The best ones are when they scream and the teacher just hits him in the face and falls down a level, and then somebody on the second level gets it when they shot it to the third. Like, man, you got bad hands. You didn't deserve it.
All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Bullpen. We're back, gentlemen.
Literally.
We're back. Please keep in touch with us. This is about interacting.
We're gonna start pimping our stuff at the beginning of the show. We
Look-
should, I'm gonna write that in the script from now
The
on.
Bullpen Pod.
Yeah.
Please email bullpenpodcast@gmail.com.
Let's just tell them the truth. Like, look, if y'all don't start watching the Bullpen podcast religiously, we're going to be out of jobs. Dan
Yeah.
got 2 kids. Evan got a dog. Velasquez has a girlfriend. Like, I got student loans. Y'all got to help, man. Y'all got to help. Come on.
Check us out on YouTube, please. Just click through. It's
Yeah.
cool. Just watch a couple
Man,
episodes.
send donations. Send reparations. Send help.
Do we all get reparations or just you?
That was a JP plug. I'm owed.
All right, that does it for this edition of the Bullpen. Gentlemen, have a good week. We'll be back maybe next week.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Maybe next
Super.
week. So thanks for tuning in. And
We got to pay some bills first if y'all can
Yeah.
help.
yeah, seriously. Click on an ad.
Maybe Andy Behrens can stop sending Iowa stuff and just send some cash.
You've been asking for
You know,
cash for
you know,
months.
You know what we're getting in next time? We're getting Iowa Rose Bowl t-shirts. That's what we're getting.
The ones that didn't make it to third world countries.
Andy, send it.
Send it in, Jerome.
Send it. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Jamison.
Antawn Jamison. When I was making that list, I was like, how is that possible? He's on the 2 worst of our 3 teams.
amazing.
That was great.
That's an amazing Antawn Jamison.
Oh, Jesus.